Hey guys. Part 17. This is what if Naruto took care of Sasuke who turned into a baby. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one, and also please check the author in the description. Let's start. Chapter 41. Past and Present. When the dark green frog came out of nowhere, right on top of the scroll where Iruka was writing, the sensei couldn't help it and yelled in fright. "What the hell is this?" Iruka yelled, falling from his chair. The frog was small but well-spoken. He politely ignored the sensei's screams and curses and waited until he calmed down before telling him why he had come. "Naruto asked me to ask you if you don't mind to lend him some tools from the academy," the frog said. "Naruto? Naruto sent you?" "Exactly, sir. Sasuke is starting his ninja training. Naruto said he had spoken to the Hokage-sama about this already and she had approved." Rising from the floor, Iruka looked around, making sure nobody was listening. Naruto had been smart. He knew Iruka usually stayed at the academy after the classes were over to organize the next day class. Also, he was lucky that his fellow teachers, Suzume and Daikoku, had already gone home too. "Sasuke is gonna start his training?" Iruka repeated. The little toad nodded. "Yes. The little one is very eager about it." Iruka sighed and smiled. "So the time has come, huh? I guess Sasuke is thrilled." "Yes," replied the frog. "He can't wait. Naruto was teaching him how to make hand seals now." "Oh. That should be interesting to see," Iruka said. Naruto was always getting those wrong when he was at the academy. He never had much dexterity to do hand seals, especially if they were too many and he had to be fast. He always ended up cheating or forgetting a seal, and the jutsu ended up being a disaster. Damn. The times that I stayed with him training until he got one sequence right. But it was worth it. He could be slow, but he worked hard. "Sasuke was having trouble with some of the seals," the frog remarked, with a smile. "Sasuke? Having trouble?" Iruka asked, genuinely surprised. Sasuke was the only student he knew who had been able to learn all the seals perfectly in a single lesson. "Are you sure Naruto is teaching it right? Maybe I should go to them." "There's no need. Naruto is not very fast, but he knows how to teach the basics. Sasuke wants to learn too fast and gets them wrong because of his own enthusiasm." The expression of surprise in Iruka's face was replaced by a soft smile. "Really? Who knew? Apparently, Sasuke inherited more from Naruto than I expected." The sensei left the room, went to the library and took out several books and scrolls. Then he went to the storeroom. When Iruka came back to the teacher's room, he was carrying 3 heavy bags. One of the bags contained only scrolls about the most basic types of ninjutsu, genjutsu and taijutsu. When Sasuke had studied them all, he would give him more. The other bags had a complete set of shuriken, kunai, a fuma shuriken, several targets for training and a wooden puppet. The frog opened his mouth wide and swallowed the 3 bags as if they were candy. "I think that's everything they will need for now," Iruka said. "If Naruto needs something else, he can contact me at home after school. It's safer." "Got it, sir," the frog replied. "Goodbye." The frog disappeared in a cloud of smoke, leaving the sensei again alone in the room. Iruka tried to focus on his work, but the frog's visit awakened him memories about Sasuke and Naruto when he trained them at the academy. It took 1 second for Sasuke to grab Naruto and immobilize him on the floor. Their first sparring match had been pitifully short. As the crowd, especially the girls, cheered Sasuke's coolness, the raven kept staring at Naruto in the ground with a bitter gaze. "Sasuke wins," Iruka said. "Now both of you make the reconciliation seal and we'll move on." "I'm not even on your radar, is that it, you butthead?" Naruto screamed in anger, as Sasuke turned his back and coolly walked away. "No, you're not just a butthead. You're a dribbling dried piece of crap, that's what you are." Iruka went to the blonde and smacked him in the head. "Ow. I told you that shinobi spars are a sacred tradition," Iruka yelled. "Now make the reconciliation seal, damn it!" Glaring at each other, Naruto and Sasuke raised both of their hands and grabbed each other's collars. You wanna fight, drop out? Sasuke said. Humph. Naruto snorted. Enough already, Iruka said as he separated the two boys. Naruto couldn't take it anymore and started running towards the fence. You suck, Naruto! Screamed the other children. What's your problem? Wound up, Naruto replied by sticking his tongue out and jumping the fence so he could run away from the academy, but not before glaring at Sasuke one last time. He had to separate those two boys more times than he could remember. Iruka usually took Naruto out to eat ramen when the blonde was defeated by the genius Uchiha and felt depressed and frustrated. Naruto never said it, but Iruka knew that he admired Sasuke and wanted the Raven to acknowledge him as an equal. The sensei also suspected that Naruto wanted to become friends with Sasuke, but the blonde was too stubborn and jealous and Sasuke was too arrogant and self-centered. And now, Naruto was teaching Sasuke to be a ninja again. Knowing that he wouldn't get any work done, Iruka decided to return home. After a long day at work with a bunch of 8-year-old kids, what he needed was a hot bath and a good meal. That's it. I'm going to the hot springs and then go to Ichiraku Ramen, he decided. As he walked through the quiet streets of the village, Iruka looked at the carved faces in the old Hokage mountain, one of the few things that hadn't been destroyed when Pain invaded and destroyed Konoha. The Hokage continued to watch over the village, as always. To Iruka, that had been a comforting thought. Even if everything else changed, some things remained the same. And who knows? Perhaps within a few years, Naruto's head would also be there. The Sandaime would be proud, Iruka thought with nostalgia. The Yondaime too. Still thinking to himself, Iruka stopped in the middle of the road. Kakashi was leaning over a bridge, also looking at Hokage Mountain. Kakashi-san! Iruka greeted, approaching the Jonin. With his usual undisturbed look, Kakashi stared at Iruka and nodded in response. Yo, the white-haired man said. Are you enjoying the landscape? Iruka asked. Actually, I was resting a little before going home, Kakashi said, turning to the mountain. I was a little lost in my own thoughts. It's good to take some time to think. Yes, Kakashi stared at the fourth Hokage's face. Like the girls, he too had seen the photo that Ino had taken from Naruto. Kakashi wasn't easily surprised, but his eyes widened when he saw Minato-sensei reflected in Naruto's features. What would the Yondaime say if he knew that his son had become father himself? Heck! Even Jiraiya-sama would be astounded. Kakashi assumed they would both be happy with Naruto when the shock passed. As it had happened with Kakashi. However, Kakashi felt something wasn't right. Knowing Naruto as he knew, he would have brought the child to Konoha instead of taking care of a baby alone. Also, he would want his son to grow up in the village and show him to everyone instead of hiding him like a secret. There was definitely something odd in that story. Iruka? Yes? Kakashi stared at the academy teacher. You knew that Naruto had a son longer than us, is it not? Iruka tensed, but his voice remained calm. Ah, yes, I knew. How do you? Last year, you were talking with Shizen about Naruto, Kakashi explained. You two were talking that he got someone pregnant. That means you and her already knew everything last year, at least. This isn't a question, it's a statement. Although Kakashi was talking quietly, Iruka couldn't help but feel under interrogation. The man had belonged to the ANBU. He also had been a child prodigy. Obviously, the academy teacher felt intimidated. He would be stupid if he didn't. Yes. Shizen-san and I know for about a year, Iruka admitted. Tsunade-sama told us because we found documents on the child in her office. Documents? Yes, blood tests. The Hokage-sama is always in contact with Naruto and his son. Kakashi was thoughtful for a few seconds. She goes to them through the reverse summoning, right? Ah, yes, exactly, Iruka said. There was no way he could lie and fool Kakashi. It was best to turn the conversation to another topic. She visits them when Naruto calls. For all I know, Naruto is doing very well with the child. He's a strong and healthy boy. I see. Iruka took the silence to end the conversation. Well, I have to go before the hot springs close, Iruka said. See you around, Kakashi-san. Give my regards to Sakura. Kakashi nodded slowly. Okay. Goodbye, Iruka. Trying not to breathe with relief, Iruka turned his back and began walking. One more thing, Iruka, Kakashi called, making the teacher's eyes wide. Yes? The boy. Naruto's son. Kakashi said softly. What's his name? It's been months since Shikamaru told us about him, but nobody told us his name. Iruka turned to stare at Kakashi, but his gaze was wistful. Sasuke, the sensei said, while Kakashi's uncovered eye widened. Naruto named him Sasuke. Thousands of miles from Konoha, under the dusk light, Naruto and Sasuke continued to walk down the small road through the forest. They were walking since early morning, having made a few stops to eat and rest their sore legs. However, whenever they stopped, Sasuke took a scroll from his backpack and resumed his studies. When they walked, the raven wanted to train. Sasuke had become noticeably more energetic and less patient than in his first life. Naruto couldn't help remembering himself at that age. He was exactly like that when he entered the academy, though he usually liked to talk big and show off. Sasuke was still an introverted child. Looking to the side, Naruto saw the little boy making hand seals repeatedly as he walked, muttering a frustrated "tsk" when he got one wrong. The sun is about to set up, Naruto said. We have to stop and camp for the day before it gets dark. Here. This seems to be a good place. Sasuke looked up from his hands. Huh? We'll have dinner now? The boy asked. Yes, but we need wood for the fire. I'll go look with you, Sasuke said, untangling his tired fingers. The two together didn't take long to find enough firewood for a good fire. While Naruto rubbed two sticks, Sasuke watched him intently. You're looking very serious, Naruto said, smiling when a small flame appeared in the wood. I'm learning, Sasuke said. A ninja has to camp many times, right? So I have to learn how to make fire too. True, Naruto admitted. When we went on missions, sometimes it took days or even weeks to complete them, and we had to sleep outdoors or in caves when it was cold or raining. Learning how to make a fire came in handy, but fortunately, I didn't have to do it many times. The sun stood behind the Rocky Mountains, giving the sky a pink shade that would soon become dark blue. The temperature had also dropped considerably, so Sasuke stretched his arms towards the flames to keep himself warm. Why is that? The child asked, with his innocent onyx eyes attentive to Naruto. Because there was almost always someone on our team who could use the cat on, the blonde ninja said, remembering how Kakashi quickly lit a fire rather than spending several minutes with sticks and stones. Sasuke himself had also done it several times, and even Jiraiya. Katan? The boy asked. Katan is a fire technique, said Naruto. A ninja who can use katan can create fire. I know, Sasuke said. It's one of the nature transformation types. There are 5 of them. Fire, wind, lightning, earth, and water. Naruto blinked. Heh! You already studied that? Of course, replied Sasuke, smiling with pride. Smart Alec. Next month, Iruka-sensei is gonna make you a test. Let's see how you do. A test? Sasuke asked. About what? About what you've learned so far, the blonde answered. Then you'll get a report card. I'm gonna get the top scores, the raven-haired boy exclaimed. You'll see. Naruto grinned. That will mean that I'm a great teacher. Naha! Sasuke exclaimed. It'll mean I'm super smart. Hey! Don't get cocky, you brat, Naruto answered, playfully slapping Sasuke's head. Naruto had to admit he was impressed. Sasuke had only begun studying for 8 days and he had learned more than Naruto was able to in a month at the academy. Of course, the Raven was a natural genius and his concentration ability was impressive. Sasuke was also very excited about the studies and could not wait to start the practical training. Sasuke continued to train the hand seals while Naruto went to get food and water in his backpack. Even when the hot soup in a small pot was ready, the Raven continued to train. The dragon seal, the bird, and the horse were always those where Sasuke always got wrong, making the boy huff in annoyance and frustration. Dinner time, Naruto said, handing a bowl of soup to the child. Wait a little longer. I almost got it, Sasuke said, getting the horse seal wrong again. Crap. If you're angry, you get distracted. You've been training those seals for hours. You are going to take a break and have dinner. But Two-chan. No buts. You have to eat to get your strength back, Naruto ordered, surprising himself with the firm tone of voice. He talked like Kakashi-sensei. Come on, after dinner you can keep training. If you want, we can train together. Sasuke accepted the bowl of steaming soup and stared at Naruto with an excited smile. Really? You'll train with me? I have to train too, Naruto said with a grin. A shinobi must keep himself in good shape. Besides, hand seals have never been my forte. The more they are, the more I make a mistake. You get them wrong too? Sasuke asked, surprised. Oh yeah? I was never very good at memorizing stuff. And a jutsu that requires a dozen hand seals scares the hell out of me. I'm always getting them wrong. The blonde smiled. It was nice to talk with Sasuke about the shinobi world. To teach him. The blonde never imagined himself as a sensei, even though he had taught some techniques to Konohamaru. Naruto didn't think he had what it took or patience to teach kids when he still felt like a kid. But he was no longer a kid, he was an adult. As he watched Sasuke eat his soup and nibbling his rice ball, Naruto remembered fondly the time when was traveling with Jiraiya. It had been hard and wearing. There had been many times when Naruto had felt exasperated with the Sannin, not understanding the reason of his training or his methods. When Jiraiya decided to stop training for research for his perverted books, the blonde almost exploded with indignation. But it was fun. Maybe it was because Naruto was older now and had matured a little. But looking back and remembering the training, the blonde Jinchuriki realized that Jiraiya was a great Shusho. Sorry not telling you that while you were here, Naruto thought, looking at the full moon. You were the best teacher anyone could have. Keep looking out for me. Okay, Ero-sennin? Sasuke lifted his head above his onigiri and saw that his father was smiling at the sky, with a distant look. Two-chan? HM? Why are you smiling? The boy asked. I was thinking about my Shusho, Naruto said, scratching the back of his head. I was remembering when he and I trained during our travels. Your Shusho? Sasuke asked. I thought that after graduating from the academy, the ninja were trained by a Jonin sensei in a team. Do all ninjas have a Shusho? No, not all of them. Sometimes, a powerful ninja takes special interest in a younger one and decides to train him or her as a promising apprentice. I was in a 3-man team and I had a Jonin sensei as our guide, but a very strong ninja decided he would make me his apprentice. Sasuke swallowed the rest of his onigiri and stared at his dad with interest. He's very strong? Your Shusho? Yes. His name was Jiraiya, and was he known as one of the legendary Sannin, Naruto said. He was Tsunade Bachan's teammate and was trained by the 3rd Hokage. Wow. He must be very strong then. He was incredibly strong. He was also my Two-chan sensei. He trained Grandpa? Yup. He told people that I was like his grandson, Naruto said with a smile. It was like we were a family, though he was a big old perv. I called him Ero-sennin and he hated it. Good times. The two of us were always arguing, but he was the best Shusho the world. Sasuke blinked. Was? Though he continued to smile, Naruto's blue eyes were sad. Yes, he died a few years ago, the blonde said. I miss him. How did he die? Sasuke asked. He was killed during a mission. Killed? But you said he was strong. Even the strongest shinobi die, Naruto said, facing the confused child. Sometimes it's not enough to be strong. Strong ninja can be defeated by a weaker one if he or she is smarter, faster, if the other ninja is careless, or even if the stronger ninja is too arrogant and underestimates the opponent. But Ero-sennin didn't die because he was arrogant or stupid. The ninja that killed him was super strong, and Ero-sennin had a mission, to deliver information to the village. He did not die in vain. It was thanks to his information that the other ninja was defeated. Sasuke was thoughtful for a moment. He knew that the ninja died, it was obvious, but he never thought much about it. In the stories, the good guys always win and the bad die, Sasuke said innocently. That's how it should be. I agree with you, Naruto said. But unfortunately there aren't just good people and bad people in this world. Ninjas are hired to complete missions and sometimes have to fight other ninjas from other villages who are also hired by others. During these fights, there are ninjas who die. Being a ninja is dangerous. We risk our lives when we have a mission. Things improved greatly after the war. All the villages have formed an alliance, and the shinobi try not to meddle in the affairs of other villages and keep the peace. Before, it was a lot worse. Sasuke stared at the flames, absorbed in his own thoughts. The shinobi life was more complicated than he thought. There was so much that Sasuke didn't know yet, and he had to admit he was a bit afraid of dying. But just a little. Ninja risked their lives and were brave. Sasuke had to be brave too, like his father was. His other parents and his Nisan also should have been brave as well, or else they would not have been good shinobi. The little raven's eyes widened. If his parents and his older brother were ninjas, did this mean that Sasuke had also been a ninja? Two-chan? The raven asked. Can I ask you a question? Of course. Ask away, if I can answer it. Sasuke hesitated for a few seconds. Was I a ninja? Naruto's eyes widened involuntarily. You said that my Nisan was a ninja. My Ka-san and my Tu-san were ninjas too. So, was I also one when I was a grown-up? A breeze ruffled Naruto's hair and several loose leaves from the trees surrounded them. A leaf fluttered to the ground, falling between Naruto and Sasuke. Yes, Naruto replied. You were a ninja. The raven's black eyes widened with surprise. His curiosity and enthusiasm were soon to follow. I was? And how was I? Was I good? The child asked with his eyes shining. Naruto felt his throat tight, but when he spoke, his voice was calm. You were a strong and very cool ninja, the blonde said. Many other ninjas wanted to be as strong as you. Especially me, Naruto thought. That is so cool, Sasuke said. Was I from Konoha too? Naruto nodded. Great. You and I are from the same village, Two-chan. Isn't it cool? Very cool, Naruto said, trying to conceal the sadness in his voice. Abstracted from the sadness in Naruto's eyes, Sasuke could barely contain his enthusiasm. He had been a shinobi before. That was so awesome. He had belonged to the same village as his Two-chan, which meant that his parents and Itachi had also been Konoha ninjas. Sasuke only regretted that his brother's jutsu had made him forget everything. It would be so cool to be able to remember his adventures and his jutsus. It was a shame he couldn't remember what he had learned. I wish I could remember, the boy said, crossing his arms over his chest and pouting. It'd be so cool if I could remember the jutsus. Now I'll have to learn everything again. That sucks. Naruto remained silent. Nisan could have gotten a better jutsu, Sasuke muttered. He could have found out a jutsu that would let me have my memories. I want to be a shinobi now, but I can't cause I don't remember. I also like to remember him, my Tu-san and Ka-san. Stupid dumb jutsu. Naruto stood up and took the dirty dishes. When he looked at the raven, he tried to smile. Yeah. I understand that must suck for you. If I were in your place, I would also want to know all the ninja techniques already, the blonde said. Don't be upset with Itachi. He used that jutsu to save you. Sasuke continued to sulk. If his brother hadn't used that jutsu, Sasuke would still be ninja. I know. But I wish he had used a different jutsu. Naruto nodded slowly. Well, I'll go wash the dishes in the river nearby, the blonde Jinchuriki said. I'll be back in a minute, so be good, okay? Take care of our backpacks. Okay, the raven said as Naruto disappeared among the trees with the dirty bowls and 2 canteens. With a sigh, Sasuke got up and went to get another book from his backpack. He opened the book in the chapter dedicated to Konohagakure and read about the Hokage mountain, where the faces of the previous Hokage had been carved. The raven thought he should have seen that mountain many times when had been in Konoha, but now, like all his other memories, he couldn't remember how the mountain looked like, no matter how much he tried. Tuchan had said he had seen him before, so Sasuke would probably have been a lot older than him. Maybe he had been a powerful jonin, or an Anbu, or even a ninja police like his father. Even if Sasuke had been sick and sad, there should have been another way to heal him, right? It would have been great if his Nissan hadn't used a jutsu that turned into a baby without any memories. Why didn't his brother find another jutsu instead? A jutsu that would cure Sasuke from his head disease and let him keep on being a ninja? If Itachi hadn't used that dumb jutsu, Sasuke would be now a very powerful ninja and wouldn't have to learn everything, all over again. Exhausted, the little raven yawned and rubbed his tired eyes. Since it was a little cold, Sasuke took the blanket from his bag and wrapped himself in it. He was just gonna rest his eyes a bit, then he'd continue to read and would train his hand seals. After 2 minutes, the book slipped from his tiny hands and Sasuke fell asleep leaning against the backpacks, warmed by the hot flames. When the soup bowls were clean and the 2 water bottles filled with fresh water, Naruto wiped his wet hands to his pants, stood up and moved away from the small stream. The talk he had with Sasuke had left him more upset than he expected. How would Sasuke react when he discovered the whole truth? How would he feel when he found out that he and Naruto had been teammates, and then enemies? The boy was so full of hope about the future, and seemed so pleased to be a Konoha shinobi. If he knew he had hated the village and tried to destroy it with all his strength, how would he react? Taking a deep breath, Naruto tried to calm himself. Sasuke was still very young and it was still too early to reveal his whole past. The best thing to do was reveal it slowly and carefully. Naruto didn't want to crush Sasuke, or lose him again, because this time would be 1,000 times worse. Naruto had been devastated when he lost his best friend, but he wouldn't bear to lose his son. Suddenly, a small dark green frog appeared in a cloud of white smoke. "Good evening," the frog greeted cheerfully. "Oh, hi. Did you talk to Iruka-sensei?" Naruto asked, approaching the frog. Yes, the green frog opened his mouth and spat the 3 bags on the floor. "Here are the things that you asked? He said that if you need more, you just have to ask." "Thank you," Gamashин Naruto said, peeking into the bags. "If you don't need me anymore, I'm going home, okay?" "You can go. Thanks again." Anytime the frog cried, disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Inside the bags, Naruto found several scrolls and books and even targets, so they could train kunai and shuriken throwing. Wow! Iruka-sensei had even borrowed them a doll to practice taijutsu. "Sasuke will be happy," Naruto muttered, picking up the 3 bags and returning to the camp. "Sasuke! I'm back! Want to train the hand seals now?" To his surprise, the child was sound asleep, wrapped in a blanket. With a smile, Naruto put his bags on the floor and lay Sasuke on another blanket. The raven murmured something when Naruto took him in his arms, but he didn't wake. "You were really tired, huh?" the blonde whispered. In response, Sasuke pulled his feet to his chest and clung to the warm blanket. Still smiling, Naruto decided to make his own bed. He also needed a good night's sleep. Sasuke moved through the streets of the village slowly but steady, trying to prevent the other passers-by from noticing that he couldn't wait to get home. When he arrived, he opened the door slowly and took off his dark gray sandals. "Tadaima," he shouted into the house. "Oh, Kiri," his mom said, coming down the stairs with laundry basket. "How was your day?" "It went well," Sasuke said. "Is Tusan home?" Mikoto nodded. "He's in the living room," she said. Sasuke ran to his bedroom and took the report card of his bag. Smiling, the raven walked into the living room. "Tusan?" he said before opening the door. "May I come in?" "Come in," said a firm voice. Sasuke opened the sliding door and entered the room. Fugaku was sitting on the floor, on top of a pillow, and was reading the newspaper. With his heart pounding, Sasuke kneeled in front of his father, holding the report card like a treasure. "What do you want?" Fugaku asked, looking up over his newspaper. Today I got my report card." Sasuke stretched a piece of paper in his father's direction so he would pick it up. Impassively, Fugaku landed the newspaper and took the report card of his youngest child, opening it slowly. With his cheeks slightly flushed, Sasuke smiled in anticipation. He had the best grades in his class in all subjects. Even better, he had the top score in every class. Finally, his father would recognize his skills and praise him. Sasuke trained so much for this, but it was worth it. Every time he practiced, he'd imagine his father's face, filled with pride, praising him for a job well done. His father would say he was outstanding, a genius, and that he expected nothing less of his child. Fugaku would finally look and admire Sasuke with pride and respect, as he did with Itachi. Fugaku looked at the report card before staring at his son. "Keep this up, and you may one day be the same as your brother," Fugaku said. Sasuke's eyes widened and his smile vanished from his face. His father put down his report card on the floor, got up and left the room without telling him anything else. He didn't even smile or touch him. When the sound of Fugaku's steps disappeared, Sasuke looked down and felt his lips trembling. Disappointment tore his heart. No matter how much he tried, as much as he trained, Sasuke would never be better than Itachi, the golden son, the prodigy, the son their father only cared about. Sasuke was tired of trying and trying to make his father proud of him, and never thrive while Itachi succeeded in every turn. With a sudden movement, the raven picked up the report card and shot out of the house, running non-stop. When it started raining, Sasuke slowed the pace. The rain soaked his clothes, skin, and hair. His sandals were muddy, but the raven didn't care. Even when the cold became unbearable, Sasuke continued to walk. There were people passing by on the street, but he could only see blurs in front of him. He didn't even realize that he was crying. It was the sound of happy voices and a bright light that made him stop in front of what looked like a restaurant. Several people entered the building, smiling and chatting with each other. Sasuke was about to walk away when a person blonde, dressed in orange, came in his field of vision. "Two-chan," Sasuke muttered, before running towards the blonde. Naruto stopped and looked back, while all his friends entered the restaurant. Sasuke ran up to him and stopped less than a meter away, breathless but happy. He was so happy that his daddy was here. The two stared at each other for some time. Naruto, dry and sheltered from the rain by the roof of the restaurant, Sasuke, soaked to the bone, covered in mud and still carrying his wet report card in one hand. "Naruto?" someone asked. "Aren't you coming?" Inside the restaurant, a group of people were watching them with curiosity stamped on their faces. Sasuke could have sworn that Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino were there, but he wasn't sure. When the raven looked Naruto in the eyes, felt that something was different. It was as if they were both the same height. Even so, Sasuke smiled. He was just glad his daddy was here. However, Naruto continued to stare at him with a confused expression. "Who are you?" the blonde asked. Sasuke's eyes widened with alarm and fear. You don't remember me?" the raven asked, feeling his heart beating erratically. "It's me, Two-chan. Don't you know me?" Naruto shook his head. "You must be confusing me with somebody else," Naruto said. "I don't know you." Sasuke gasped. This could not be happening, it could not be true. Dad, please. Tell me that you remember me." Almost desperately, Sasuke grabbed Naruto's arm. "Tell me you didn't forget me, please." Naruto merely kept looking at him with a puzzled expression. "I'm sorry, but you're wrong. I don't know who you are," the blonde said, pulling his arm and getting rid of Sasuke. "I don't have a son." Turning his back to Sasuke, Naruto went into the restaurant and closed the door, leaving Sasuke alone in the rain. The report card fell from his hand into a puddle of water, where the ink was completely dissolved until it became a ruined and stained piece of paper. Sasuke slowly opened his eyes, feeling his bare feet cold because they weren't under the blanket. Trembling, the boy pulled his legs to his stomach and hugged himself. The sky was getting lighter, which meant the sun was about rise. He could hear the sound of the birds in the trees, as if they had just awakened to a new day. Slowly, Sasuke turned to the side and saw that the fire had been extinguished. The two backpacks were leaning against the trunk of a tree and, not far from the raven, Naruto was fast asleep, curled up in his own blanket like a ball. "I don't know you." Feeling a chill, Sasuke pulled the blanket and got up. Swallowing hard, the raven went towards the slumbering blonde. You must be confusing me with somebody else. I don't know you. The child knelt down next to Naruto and looked at him intently, his hands shaking with anxiety. I don't know who you are. I don't have a son. With care, the boy shook Naruto's shoulders. Sasuke's eyes were burning, he could feel the tears behind them. But he continued shaking Naruto until the blonde opened one sleepy eye and looked at him. What is going on? The blonde asked, blinking slowly. Is it morning? Sasuke opened his mouth but no sound came out, so he bit his lip. Naruto looked at the still dark sky and groaned. He was so tired and was still so early. Why did he have to wake up? Hell, he wanted to sleep. Then the blonde ninja noticed that Sasuke was kneeling in front of him, his eyes red and very bright, as if he was about to cry. Sasuke? Naruto asked. You okay, son? Without saying a word, Sasuke lifted the blankets and lay down next to Naruto, leaning his small body to his father's. Still drowsy, Naruto hugged the boy. With his face on his dad's chest, Sasuke felt the panic that had invaded his heart gradually lessen. If his brother hadn't used the jutsu, Sasuke would probably be an old man now. His parents had died, his Nissan too, and Sasuke would be all alone. What happened, Sasuke? Are you cold? Naruto asked. Sasuke clung to his father tighter. Haha, the little boy answered. In response, Naruto rubbed his back to warm him up. If Itachi hadn't used that jutsu, Naruto wouldn't be his father now. Sasuke had told Naruto that he wished Itachi had used another jutsu, but if his big brother had used another jutsu, Sasuke wouldn't be Naruto's son, he would be somebody else. He wouldn't even be a child, so there was no chance Naruto could be his papa. Daddy? Sasuke asked quietly, with his hands fisted on Naruto's chest. HM? The blonde murmured, half asleep. Are you gonna be happy if I get good grades on my report card? Of course I'd be happy, Naruto muttered, with his chin over Sasuke's head. If you want, we could go celebrate somewhere. Sasuke's hand grabbed Naruto's shirt and squeezed it. Daddy? Yes? I'm glad you got to be my daddy. Despite being nearly asleep, Naruto smiled. Me too, the blonde replied, falling asleep once more. Warm and more peaceful, Sasuke also fell asleep again. He didn't mind having to learn how to be a shinobi again, he did it once, and he could do it again. He felt happy to be a kid now, even if it meant he was still weak. Suddenly, his former life didn't seem so important anymore. He didn't even want to be an adult or an old man again. He was happy to be who he was. The tall figure, dressed in black, sat on a rock while a small flock of birds landed softly on his shoulders and arms. At that moment, he felt calm and at peace, so he talked to the birds with ease. Unfortunately, none of the animals gave him the information he needed. When his traveling companion arrived, the birds took flight and Yugo looked at him. Soijetsu had blood stains on his most recent sword, which meant that he had most likely killed the men who had gone to do some small questioning. Ah, I feel refreshed, Soijetsu said, sticking the sword in the ground and drinking a sip of water. You killed them all, didn't you? Yugo said. Soijetsu shrugged. They angered me, he said. They had it coming. You wanted to fight. It's true. I miss a good fight. Besides, they didn't tell me anything special. Let's go, Yugo. The orange-haired man stood up and followed his teammate. Chapter 42, Copy Will I. Okay, Sasuke. Let's see what you've learned so far, Naruto said casually, with a broad smile on his lips. Hi! The raven cried. After eating a light breakfast, the two had traveled for 2 hours when they reached a huge meadow. That was when Naruto had put his bag down and said they would train for a little while. Enthusiastic, Sasuke threw his backpack onto the grass and got ready for practice. To begin with, can you tell me what chakra is? Sasuke nodded. That was easy. Chakra is a mixture of physical energy that is within every cell in the body, and spiritual energy that is acquired through exercise and experience, the raven solemnly said. A sweat drop ran down from Naruto's forehead. Damn, the kid was good. Even now, Naruto wouldn't be able to explain the concept of chakra that well. Perhaps with the help of a drawing or comparing chakra with different flavors of an ice cream, maybe then he could do it. What the hell? Memorizing stuff has never been my forte. I learn through my body, that needs no explanation. Good thing Sasuke can learn these mindsets on his own. If I tried to explain, it would be a disaster. Sakura-chan and Kakashi-sensei were the ones who always got that covered. Tu-chan? Did I say it right? The little boy asked. Ah, yes. It was great. I'm glad you studied so hard. You are doing very well, Naruto said, making Sasuke blush with delight. But you know, all people have chakra. The difference is that a ninja is able to control his or her chakra and use it in jutsus. I know, said the raven. You have to mold and manipulate the chakra in our body. Exactly. A shinobi needs to have a lot of control over their chakra to use ninjutsu and genjutsu, or the technique won't work as it should, or may even fail outright. It wastes time and energy which, during a fight, can be fatal. Sasuke nodded and saw that his father had taken a scroll from his bag. When he opened the scroll and touched it, 3 heavy bags appeared right in front of them. What's that? The raven asked. Some things that Iruka-sensei lent me from the academy, Naruto said, grabbing the bags. He lent us some kunai and shuriken to practice. Naruto gave Sasuke one of the kunai that were inside the bag. The raven grabbed the metal weapon with wonder. He had never picked up a real kunai before. It was heavier than the wooden kunai which he used to play with. Have you gotten used to its weight? Naruto asked. For several minutes, Sasuke handled the kunai with both hands. He tried to hold him through the small ring with his finger and move it around without dropping it to the ground. When he was comfortable with the weight and texture of the black dagger, Naruto gave him another kunai so Sasuke could get used to handle 2 at the same time. He explained that the knife was mainly used for thrusting and stabbing, but could also cause some damage when thrown. Kunai could also be used to defend against other weapons like a katana and shuriken. After Sasuke learned the basics of handling kunai, Naruto gave him several shuriken and explained to him how to grasp several at the same time without being cut, or let them fall to the ground and throw them. Let me try, Sasuke said. I can throw some? Okay, Naruto said. In the middle of the prairie was a lonely little tree that would make an excellent target. Now look at me, Naruto said, preparing to throw the shuriken. Watch my pose and how I move my arms, okay? Sasuke nodded and Naruto threw 3 shuriken that pierced firmly into the tree trunk. That's easy, the raven said. You just point and throw. Naruto gave him a sly smile. You think? So now you try. With a confident smile, Sasuke grabbed 3 shuriken, placed them in position between his fingers, positioned exactly like Naruto had, and threw them against the tree. 2 of the shuriken didn't even fell near the tree, and the one that hit the trunk didn't stuck and fell pathetically to the ground, leaving Sasuke perplexed. What? But I did everything right, Sasuke muttered, stunned and frustrated. Naruto grinned. Not that he wanted his child to fail, but it was always fun to see that cocky little head deflate. It's not as easy as it sounds, is it? The blonde said. You have to practice a lot just to get them to hit the target. It's even more difficult to throw the shuriken and make it pierce the target. Frowning, Sasuke ran to the tree and took the shuriken. Again. I want to try again, the raven cried. After 7 retries, Sasuke still hadn't improved one bit. The damn shuriken didn't even hit the tree. Take it easy, Naruto said patiently. If you're nervous, you can't focus and you fail the target. You won't learn everything on the first try, you have to be patient. I am patient, Sasuke said, gesturing with his hand. To his horror, the shuriken escaped through his fingers and flew against Naruto. Before the blonde could react, he heard a rasping sound and the shuriken crashed into a wall of sand. Oh? Naruto groaned, blinking before the floating sand. With his heart still pounding, Sasuke also looked at the sand with a mixture of anxiety and bewilderment. The sand turned away from Naruto and flew behind them. I see you started the training, a calm, deep voice said. The surprised expression on Naruto's face turned into a smile. Gaara the blonde said. You came. Sasuke looked back and saw a red-haired man, with no eyebrows and dark circles around his eyes, watching them with an impassive look. Naruto's frog had appeared on his desk early in the morning, but Gaara had some paperwork to read and needed to deliver multiple missions before he could take a break. Fortunately, not even Temari or Kankuro suspected that their younger brother was miles away from the village, although they had been asking him where he was when nobody could find, not even in the cactus greenhouse he had built. Gaara-san? Sasuke asked. You two should be more careful, Gaara said, approaching them. You're right. Thanks, Gaara, Naruto said, scratching his neck with an embarrassed look. Sasuke looked at the flying sand before it went gently into Sabaka no Gaara's gourd. When the raven was little, he believed that this was due to Tanuki magic, but now he knew what it was in reality. Gaara-san? You're a ninja too? That is correct, Gaara nodded quietly. How can you control sand like that? The boy asked. My chakra is mixed with the sand, so I can control it. You just use sand? Sasuke asked, surprised. Sand is all I need, Gaara said. As long as I have sand, I can do anything, whether to attack or to defend myself. True, Naruto said, approaching the other shinobi. Gaara is known for his absolute defense. Absolute defense? The Raven boy asked. It means that the sand that he uses as a defense is so powerful that it is almost impossible to touch him, Naruto said, turning to Gaara. Sasuke frowned. How could plain sand be an invincible defense? Perhaps stone or metal, but sand? That was very hard to believe. When we first met, Gaara had never been defeated or wounded in his life. No wonder he is the Kazekage now, Naruto continued. Sasuke's eyes widened. Gaara-san was the Kazekage? The land of winds Kage? Just looking at Gaara, the Raven felt he was powerful, but he had no idea that he could be such a strong ninja. Besides, if Gaara was the Kazekage, that meant he was the leader of Sunagakure, another hidden ninja village, bordering Konoha. How could the Kazekage and his dad be friends? They weren't even from the same village. It made no sense. You're really the Kazekage? Sasuke asked, still stunned. Gaara just nodded again. Cool, huh? He became Kazekage before I became Hokage, but don't you think I'll stay behind? Naruto exclaimed, pointing a finger at Gaara like a feisty child. Just you wait and see. I'll have that red hat on my head soon enough. Gaara's lips twitched into a little smile. Actually, I wouldn't be the Kazekage if it weren't for you, Kage said, calming the blonde who immediately blushed. Oh well. You worked really hard for it. The merit is all yours, Naruto stuttered. He would never get used to how nice the former Jinchuriki could be. Sasuke stared at the two shinobi, ignorant of what they were talking about. Why wouldn't Gaara-san be the Kazekage? The child asked. Because your father changed me, Gaara said. Even though we were enemies, he was the only person who understood me. You were enemies? Sasuke exclaimed, completely astonished. No way. You're friends. Naruto laughed fondly. We're friends now, but when we met, I had a dread of death of Gaara. He was ruthless in battle and much stronger than I was. He was also a little creepy, sorry, Gaara. Gaara just nodded again. What happened? Sasuke asked. Oh well. Naruto mumbled. The thing is, I tried to kill Naruto and his friends, Gaara interrupted. Sasuke gasped. You tried to kill him? Why? Because that's how I was back then. Gaara could give a million explanations, but he knew it all boiled down to this. I killed because that's how I felt alive. I lived only loving myself, killing others to prove my existence. Sasuke didn't know what to think. He knew Gaara since he was a little boy. The red-haired man always seemed serious and calm, but he never seemed mean. It was as if they were talking about someone else, some bloodthirsty murderer who didn't resemble this Gaara at all. So, you couldn't kill Tsuchan? Why? He ran away? No. He beat me up, the Kazekage said, while Naruto mumbled a sorry about that. Huh. But I thought my dad was weaker. And I was, Naruto said. But my teammates were in danger. If I didn't fight, he would kill them. One of them had fought against Gaara and was wounded, and the other one was stuck on a tree by Gaara's sand. I couldn't just run away and leave my companions behind, so I fought. And you won? I won, although it was a close call. Gaara wasn't able to move and I had to drag myself to go to him. When my teammate told me that I didn't have to fight anymore because Gaara was out of chakra, I passed out and slept for hours. Sasuke turned to Gaara. And you don't hate him for defeating you? The boy asked. No. When I lost, I was confused, Gaara said quietly. I didn't understand how he had become so strong. Naruto told me he was fighting because he wanted to protect the people who were precious to him, and that made him stronger. It was then that I understood that one day, I could have someone precious to protect as well. I didn't have to be alone forever. That's what I learned from your father that day. Sasuke remained attentive, though still very confused. So, you two became friends because you fought against each other? Yes, replied Naruto. It was something like that. That doesn't make any sense, Too-chan. The truth is that there are people who can only understand each other through their fists, Naruto said, before the child's confused face. Through their fists? One day, you'll understand. After talking some more, Gaara offered to help train Sasuke. Naruto remembered that Gaara had taught some kids in Suna before becoming Kazekage. Surprisingly, the redhead was very good at explaining complicated concepts and very patient, teaching Sasuke not only how to fight with ninja weapons but also how to defend himself from his sand with a very basic taijutsu. Fight me as if you wanted to kill me, the young Kage said, astonishing Sasuke. But it's okay, said Naruto. Gaara's sand protects him, so you can attack at will. Okay, the raven said, taking a deep breath before trying to attack the Kazekage, only to be pushed to the ground. You have to lift your leg higher or that kick will never work, Naruto said while Sasuke rose from the ground. Use your forearm to defend yourself. An hour later, Sasuke was so exhausted that he fell back on the grass, panting and covered in dust. He hadn't been able to overcome Gaara's sand, much less touch him. How did his Too-chan do it? It seemed impossible. However, Naruto had taught him several blows and Sasuke had even defended himself once successfully when the sand tried to throw him on the floor. All in all, it had been a good workout. Are you alright, Sasuke? Naruto asked, bending before the exhausted boy. It's so hard. I can't even touch him, the raven gasped, still lying on the grass with drops of sweat trickling down his forehead. I think that's enough for today, the blonde said, looking at Gaara. Thanks for your help, and sorry for dragging you out here. You should be busy, huh? Gaara shook his head. That's not a problem. In fact, I needed to get away from all that bureaucracy. It was good to train someone again, and I was longing for a little action. Naruto took a cloth and a bottle of water from his bag and approached his son. Sasuke sat on the grass, still panting, and accepted the canteen with delight. After quenching his thirst, Naruto took the canteen from his little hands, wet the cloth with water and cleaned the child's dirty face. Too-chan! Sasuke embarrassedly yelled. I can clean myself. I know you can, Naruto said with an amused smile. I'm just helping. Father's privileges. Sasuke pouted, but didn't stop Naruto as the latter cleaned his dirty face, arms and hands. You'll have to change clothes, the blonde said, pointing to Sasuke's gray sweater and white shorts, filled with green and brown stains. Sasuke blushed and looked nervously towards Gaara. I won't take my clothes off in front of you too, the boy cried, mortified. Naruto smirked. Ah? Come on. Don't be ashamed. You have nothing that we haven't seen already. Too-chan! Sasuke shouted, redder and redder. Naruto laughed, and even Gaara chuckled. Just kidding, Sasuke, the blonde said. You'll change your clothes when we get to the next village. Also, we have a ship to catch. Gaara blinked when he heard movement behind the small trees and shrubs. Glancing at Naruto, Kazekage realized that his friend had also noticed that they were being watched. Too-chan, that wasn't funny. You! Sasuke stopped talking when he saw the serious expression on his father's face. What's wrong? A group of poorly dressed men came out of their hiding places and surrounded the trio, carrying various weapons from rusty swords to bows. There should be more than 15 men, all with a menacing smile on their ugly faces. If you value to your life, give up everything you have, one of the men said, tall and broad as a tree trunk, probably the leader of the gang of thieves. If you try to resist, we'll cut you to tiny pieces. So no fucking stupid ideas. Sasuke stood up and looked at the bad guys with some consternation. They were too many and they all had weapons. However, Naruto snorted as if he was annoyed by the situation. For God's sake! Haven't you got anything better to do? Naruto asked. Don't be stupid, Blondie said the big man. Give us your things nicely and maybe no one gets hurt. Sasuke looked at Naruto in anticipation, while Gaara crossed his arms over his chest and closed his eyes. First you say you won't hurt us unless we resist. Now you say that may not hurt us, Naruto continued. You want to rob us and then kill us, it's pointless to lie. Fucking dumb kid, one of the thieves growled. Boss. Let's kill them and end this bullshit talk. You are really getting on my nerves, Naruto said, frowning. I don't want to hear that kind of language in front of my son. Enough! The leader cried. Get them! The men threw themselves against them with their weapons ready to kill them all. One of them shot an arrow in Sasuke's direction. The Raven gasped when the tip of the arrow stopped inches from his face by Naruto's hand. Now I'm angry, the blonde said dangerously. Sasuke, stay behind me. The boy stood up and hid behind Naruto obediently. When Sasuke looked at his father, he saw that he had the same determination in his eyes like when he had fought against Akane. Two-chan? Naruto laid a hand on the boy's head. Look, Sasuke, Naruto said. This is how a ninja battles. Naruto made the hand seal. Tajukage Bunshin no Jutsu. More than 20 blonde clones appeared in clouds of smoke, throwing themselves against the off-guard thieves. The original Naruto stood in front of Sasuke, while his clones gave a beating to the stunned men. Ninjas, one of them murmured with fear and panic. They're ninjas. Sasuke watched carefully as the clones disarmed the bandits, and easily defeat them with 2 or 3 attacks of efficient taijutsu. His onyx eyes tried to capture all the moves, learn them, but it was all happening too fast. I want to see, the Raven thought, feeling a strange reaction in his eyes. I need to see. The feeling became stronger, and Sasuke blinked. When he opened his eyes, the Raven realized he could see the clone's chakra and all the movements of those who fought. Regardless of the speed or thoroughness of the movements made by combatants, or their weapons, Sasuke could follow them all with his eyes, attentive to every detail. Gaara uncrossed his arms and walked toward the battle. Let me finish this, Naruto the Kazekage said. Naruto nodded and his clones disappeared in a cloud of white smoke. The thieves were wounded and were glared at them with a death stare. Motherfuckers! Kill them! What are you waiting for? Kill them! Gaara clapped his palms and quickly made several hand seals. With an earthquake, a tidal wave of sand came from the ground, towering over the bewildered thieves' heads. Sasuke could see the chakra controlling the sand, moving it in the direction that the Kazekage wanted. Awesome, the boy stammered. The sand fell upon the thieves with a bang and suddenly turned the meadow into a desert. Sasuke thought it was all over, but Gaara had other ideas. Sabaku Taiso the Kage said, putting his hands on the sand. With a new bang, the sand was compressed against the ground and the earth shook, forcing Sasuke to grab onto Naruto so he wouldn't fall. Show off, Naruto said with an amused smile. When the earth stopped shaking, Gaara stood up and stared at the sand. It's over, the Kazekage said. Still holding to his father's shirt, Sasuke looked as the Kazekage turned his back to the wasteland he had created and walked towards them completely unruffled. He's so strong, the Raven said. Naruto nodded. Yeah. After all, he is the Kazekage. Did you? Naruto turned to Sasuke and his blue eyes widened. Sasuke had his Sharingan active, still fixed on the battlefield. When Gaara approached them, his pale eyes also widened in surprise. Sasuke didn't take long to notice the astonished gaze of the two adults, and stared at them with his confused red eyes. "What?" he asked. "Why are you looking at me like that?" Gaara looked at Naruto. The Kazekage could see his friend's inner conflict. Naruto's eyes were restless and his mouth open, as if unsure how to react. However, Sasuke continued to stare at them with his immature Sharingan, without any idea of what was going on. "Sasuke?" Naruto asked finally. "Don't you feel different?" Sasuke looked at his father, starting to feel scared. What had happened? Why were they looking at him? Did he do something wrong? I don't feel different. Sasuke remembered the strange sensation in his eyes. It wasn't unpleasant, so it didn't bother him, but he didn't want to feel it forever. It was as if he couldn't relax, seeing everything with too much detail. It was exhausting. My eyes feel a little weird, but they don't hurt." Naruto exchanged a look with Gaara. The latter nodded and Naruto laid his two hands on Sasuke's face, his thumbs gently massaging the temples of the worried boy. "Can you relax, son?" Naruto said with a reassuring smile. "Can you relax your eyes?" With his father's smile and gentle voice, Sasuke calmed down as if by magic. Little by little, the Raven felt his eyes relaxing and, as if someone had pushed a switch, his detailed vision disappeared. Sasuke was seeing normally again. Naruto took his hands off the Raven's face. "Two-chan? What is it?" the boy asked. Naruto remained kneeling on the floor, looking at his son in the eye. "What am I supposed to say?" the blonde thought. "What should I do? I have no idea what I'm doing." "Daddy? Is something wrong with my eyes?" Sasuke asked. These words immediately turned up Naruto. "No. There's nothing wrong with your eyes," the blonde assured him, laying a hand on his shoulder. "Your eyes are fine. Actually, I think we need to have a little talk, Sasuke. There is something you need to know now that you're gonna be a ninja." Sasuke continued to stare at his father, not knowing what was happening. "What?" Naruto remembered the map that he studied the night before. There was a small restaurant a few miles away. It wouldn't take long to get there. And Naruto needed a mirror. "I'll tell you when we get to the next restaurant, okay?" The blonde turned to his friend. "Gaara, if you have to go, is okay," Naruto said. "They should be looking for you by now." Gaara shook his head. "It's still early. Don't worry, Naruto. I'll go with you." A bit relieved, the blonde nodded with a smile. It would be nice to have Gaara around in case he lacked the words. "Thanks," said Naruto. "Come here, Sasuke. We'll get there faster if you're piggybacking." Still a little apprehensive, the boy nodded and climbed to his father's back, encircling his neck with his arms. Naruto and Gaara didn't take long to reach the forest and jump from branch to branch with the agility, dexterity, and ease of someone who had done it thousands of times before. Sasuke merely clung to Naruto's neck, watching the tree branches and the green leaves around him, with his black hair flying around while they jumped. The boy wasn't afraid of falling. He knew that Naruto would never let that happen, but even so, he buried his face in his father's neck. When they reached the small restaurant, Naruto asked the maid if they could use the bathroom. The woman said yes, and the three boys went to the men's bathroom, where Naruto sat Sasuke in the sink. "Sasuke, now I'm gonna ask you to do something, okay?" the blonde asked. Sasuke just nodded. "You remember what you were doing and thinking when Gaara and I were fighting against those thieves? When did you feel that your eyes were, different?" "I was thinking about what you told me," the raven-haired boy replied. "You said to look and I wanted to see. I wanted to see everything you were doing with your clones, but they were very fast. I couldn't see anything, then I could see everything." Naruto nodded slowly. He had no idea how to ask Sasuke to activate his Sharingan. How did he ask such a thing? How an Uchiha did activate the Sharingan? Forcing their eyes? Summoning chakra? Or did they use their mind as a switch? "Remember what you felt when you started to see everything?" Gaara asked, realizing that Naruto didn't know how to do it. I felt a pressure in my eyes," Sasuke said, looking at Gaara and his father. "I don't know why. I just wanted to see and then I could." That's it. Okay, Naruto said. Could it be that simple? The simple desire to see? Try to see it again. Can you do that, Sasuke? The boy stared at him, confused and apprehensive about the request. I don't know. I don't know if I can, Tuchan. If you can't, it's okay, Naruto said quietly. Just try. Sasuke tried to concentrate on the feeling and the desire to see. However, nothing happened. The raven was about to say that it was of no use when Gaara removed some sand out of his gourd. Sasuke stared at the sand carefully. He knew it was the Kazekage's chakra that was making it move, because he had seen it before. The feeling in his eyes came more easily than Sasuke expected. Suddenly, he could see the chakra embedded in the sand, and saw Gaara blink, almost imperceptibly. You did it, Naruto said. Sasuke looked at his father's face. How do you know? The boy asked. Look at the mirror, Naruto said. Sasuke turned to the bathroom mirror. At first, he didn't notice anything different. His hair was the same, like his mouth, his face, his eyes. My eyes! Sasuke shouted, blinking several times and touching the mirror's surface. His eyes had changed color. Instead of the usual black, his irises were deep red and had a strange black dot around the pupil. What's wrong with my eyes? Why are my eyes red? Calm down, Sasuke, Naruto said, approaching the disturbed child. It's okay. But my eyes are all red and weird, Sasuke said, more and more restless. What is wrong with me? I'm sick? Am I going blind? No. Heck no, Naruto reassured. So what is this, Tuchan? Sasuke asked, turning to Naruto and grabbing his arms for safety. It's a Kekkai Genkai, Naruto plainly said. Kekkai Genkai, Sasuke repeated slowly, trying to figure out what was wrong with him. What's that? It's a bloodline limit, Gaara said quietly. The best would be for the young Kage to rationally explain what was happening, while Sasuke looked for comfort and protection in Naruto. In other words, it's a technique limited to inheritance by blood. In your case, you have a dojutsu, an eye technique, that's why your eyes changed their appearance. Still holding his father's arm, Sasuke looked at the mirror again and examined his strange red eyes. What does that mean? The raven asked, more curious than nervous now. It means that your eyes can grant you special abilities, the Kazekage continued. Dojutsu don't require hand seals and facilitate the use or defense against taijutsu, genjutsu, and ninjutsu. As you already noticed, when your eyes changed you can see better, right? You can see our chakra and pay attention to all movements, even the smaller ones. Sasuke nodded. Now everything made sense. He finally understood how his vision had suddenly become so good. It was like he could see everything that was going on. So, that's good, right? You mean I'll get even stronger, right? When he felt the dizziness, Sasuke stopped talking. If he weren't clinging to Naruto, the boy would have fallen down the sink. When his mind was clearer, Sasuke noticed that his face was leaning on his father's chest. Are you okay? Naruto asked, trying not to look worried and frighten the child. I got dizzy, Sasuke muttered. Relax your eyes again, the blonde said. To the raven's surprise, it wasn't difficult. Quite simply, he just felt the pressure in his eye disappearing. Your dojutsu is called Sharingan. It evolves the more you use it, gaining new skills, Naruto said this time. However, there are risks. The Sharingan spends chakra. Since you just began your ninja training, you don't have enough chakra to keep it active for a long time. Feeling better, Sasuke pulled his face away from Naruto's chest and rubbed his eyes. That's why I got dizzy? Naruto nodded, his face uncharacteristically serious. It's dangerous to exhaust your chakra reserves. You can even die, the blonde said seriously. You activated the Sharingan for the first time during Akane's fight, and you stayed with it active until you fainted. Sasuke's dark eyes widened. He remembered how he had managed to see a line of light from Akane's kunai. He remembered seeing every detail, just like now. Was that why he had fainted? Because he had kept his Sharingan thingy on for too long? Was it because of this that I got sick? The boy asked, remembering how his body had ached all over. His fever and fatigue had felt horrible not so long ago. Chakra exhaustion, said Naruto. It's very dangerous, and you scared the hell out of me. The Sharingan is a powerful tool and can really help you as a shinobi, but it also has its risks. You're still very young and your chakra reserves are low. Also, it can be stolen. Stolen? Sasuke asked, astonished. How can it be stolen? It's inside my eyes, and, as he understood what his father was saying, Sasuke turned pale with horror. They can steal my eyes? Naruto nodded solemnly. No way, the Raven replied, not wanting to believe in something that nasty. That's disgusting. People don't go around ripping eyes out. Unfortunately, they do, Naruto continued. There was no way to tone down that information. The Sharingan is very rare and is very powerful as a weapon. Some ninja wouldn't hesitate 1 second to take off your eyes, to have it. Through a surgical operation, a person can transplant a dojutsu to their eyes and get their powers. Sasuke gulped. So what do I do? You don't want me to use the Sharingan? It's not that. You can use it, I just want you to promise me you'll be careful, the blonde said, staring at Sasuke with a stern look as the Raven realized that his father couldn't be talking more seriously. It's dangerous to let people know you have a Sharingan, so I want you to promise me you won't use it for nothing or brag about it. I won't brag, the child replied. And I'm not stupid. I never thought you were, Naruto replied smoothly. The Sharingan is powerful, so I want you to use it with caution. You can make yourself very strong with those eyes, but you don't need to rely on them to be a good shinobi. Never forget that. And what about you? Naruto blinked in confusion. What about me? Don't you have a Sharingan too? Naruto tried not to gulp as he shook his head, shocking the child. Huh? Why? Sasuke asked. I wasn't born with one, Naruto said. Sasuke lowered his eyes. Just another thing that made him different from his father. The Sharingan is part of your strength, Naruto continued, lifting Sasuke's chin with his thumb. I have my powers and you have yours. I want you to follow your own path, with your own strength. So one day, you'll be able to surpass me. Sasuke was taken aback by that statement. You want me to be more powerful than you? Sure I do, Naruto answered with his famous grin. You're my heir. I want you to be more powerful than I ever was. Heir? I'm his heir? The little Raven thought. As he calmed down, Sasuke thought about everything that they had told him about his special eyes. He realized now that if he hadn't used them when Akane tried to stab him, he would have been killed because he couldn't see her attacks. But he had become so weak later. If he fainted during a battle, another ninja could kill him, or pull his eyes out. Daddy said that a powerful ninja can be defeated by a weaker one if he was careless. Sasuke wasn't planning on being one. The Sharingan was like the Shuriken. If he used them incorrectly, he could cut his own fingers. When Sasuke looked at his father again, his eyes were filled with determination. He wasn't going to be sloppy, get himself killed. He was going to be a great shinobi, like his Tuchan. He wouldn't let him down. He was his heir. I'll be careful with my eyes, the Raven said. I promise. Naruto smiled and stroked his hair. I know, the blonde said. I trust you. Sasuke felt his lips curving into a happy smile. When the three ninja left the bathroom, all employees of the restaurant looked on with curiosity and apprehension. What the hell had they been doing in there for half an hour? One of the maids had even asked the cook if she needed to get the disinfectant. They couldn't imagine the state of the toilets. Abstracted from the thoughts and comments of the waiters and cooks, Naruto asked for a huge meal to celebrate Sasuke's special eyes. Gaara couldn't stay any longer, or his people in Sunageki would get worried and think that he had been kidnapped again. So Naruto summoned a frog once more and the Kazekage bade them farewell. Hours later, Naruto and Sasuke had finally reached the harbor and bought tickets to travel to the Unmai Islands. Tsunade had told Naruto they were going to stay with a very ancient samurai clan, which had been Konoha's ally for decades. Their samurais wanted to combine their bushido with ninjutsu so they could survive in a world ruled by ninjas without having to give up their own traditions. Evolve rather than disappear. The weather was hot, but the sea breeze was nice and refreshing. The ship to the islands was small and only had a handful of passengers. After going on board, Naruto took his son to their cabin and Sasuke immediately took off his dirty clothes and went to their private bathroom. Naruto put the 2 bags in a small closet and grabbed a towel. When he reached the bathroom, Sasuke was already inside the big tub, his hair black full of foam. The boy smiled at his father as the latter also went inside the big square tub. Naruto felt his sore muscles relax with the warm water and sighed with joy. After a long journey, there was nothing better than taking a bath. Sasuke picked up a wooden bowl, filled it with water and poured it over his head, wiping the foam of the shampoo. "Have you washed yourself with soap?" Naruto asked. "Yes." "Did you wash your whole body? Even behind the ears? You always forget washing there." "Two-chan. I'm not a baby," Sasuke replied, though he really had forgotten. Okay, Naruto laughed. "Did you wash your Tushi?" "Two-chan," Sasuke shouted, with his cheeks as red as one of the tomatoes that he loved to eat so much. Naruto burst out laughing. It was always fun messing with Sasuke, no matter how old was. "Just kidding," said the blonde, still laughing. "Sorry, Sasuke." The raven frowned, stuck his tongue out and pouted. "Come on. Don't be like that," Naruto said. "I had to wash your butt all the time when you were a baby. And I changed your dirty diapers, don't be mad at me." "Dad, don't use the diapers excuse. And why are you laughing?" Sasuke asked, feeling increasingly embarrassed. Sometimes Sasuke doubted that Naruto really was an adult. The blonde teased him as if they were classmates. "I was thinking how you've grown so much," Naruto said with a warm smile on his face. "It seems that 5 minutes ago I still had to give you a bath in the sink because you were so tiny. And look at you now. You're turning into a man. You already started your ninja training and already activated the Sharingan. If I'm not careful, I'll blink and you'll be an adult shinobi. It makes me feel happy and sad at the same time." Sasuke's pout was gone and the raven swam to with his father's side. "Two-chan, even if I'm an adult, I'll still be your son, right?" the raven asked, deliberately letting Naruto wash his back with a soapy sponge. "Of course. No matter how old you are, I'll always be your silly Two-chan. But not wimpy." Sasuke had to laugh at that, until he remembered what had happened in the Land of Foam, when he was turned into a young man because he had listened to a scary stranger. It had been awesome and fun at first, being able to go where he wanted, do what he wanted. But Sasuke soon realized that being a grown-up on the outside didn't turn him into a grown-up on the inside, and excitement became distress. He had been trapped in a body that felt weird. He had felt too tall, too big and had too much body hair. Two-chan? Naruto replied, cleaning the child's soapy back with water. "When I turned into a big boy and didn't remember you, were you still my daddy?" Naruto blinked, surprised that Sasuke was talking about that incident so suddenly. However, the blonde nodded with a genuine smile. "Yes. I still was." "Did I make you sad because I didn't remember?" the raven asked, feeling his heart a little heavier. "Yes," Naruto replied, washing his blonde hair with a little shampoo. "But you know what? I think deep down, you knew who I was." Sasuke stared at his father in surprise. "Really? Why do you say that? How did you know?" "I don't know, just a feeling I had," Naruto said. "You and I have a very strong bond. At least that's what I feel. When we have a bond with someone, that person is precious. It is through these bonds that we get stronger." Sasuke remembered what Gaara had said in the meadow about his fight against Naruto. The Kazekage sand was so strong, and it was almost impossible to defeat, but his father had been able to do so. He had done it to save his teammates. Gaara was strong, scary and wanted to kill him, but Naruto didn't run away or abandon his friends. He stayed and fought for them. "Two-chan?" the raven asked. "Was it because of those bonds that you weren't afraid to fight against Gaara-san?" "Huh! You said Gaara-san was stronger than you, but you fought against him to protect your teammates. Was it because of your bonds with them were very strong? They're precious to you?" For a few seconds, Naruto didn't answer. When he did, His eyes were shining. Yes. It was because of the bond that united us that I found the strength and courage to fight, Naruto replied with a soft gaze. Team 7. The best team ever. Sasuke realized that his father was thinking of them, his precious teammates. Even a little kid like Sasuke was able to tell that Naruto still loved them very much. They should also love him too, the friend who was willing to sacrifice his life to protect them and would do anything for them. You really like them, huh? Sasuke meekly asked. Naruto's smile got even bigger and warmer. Yeah. For the first time in his life, Sasuke felt jealous. His father had never spoken about anyone else with such love before. The bond that united them had to be very strong, stronger than the one that existed between him and Naruto. And that hurt. Sasuke felt shadowed by those two faceless people who his daddy still cared about so much. He loves them more than he loves me, the boy thought, with his black hair covering his eyes. That's it for part 17. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.